Hi everyone, I'm Gina Kay from Gina Kay Designs and your host of Stamp TV. I'd like to welcome you to our release party presentation. Tonight you will get to see many of the new products being released, including 5 new clear stamp sets, 3 new Darling Divas, and our new freebie program. At any time, feel free to click on the links below the screen to play along with our contest questions, our challenge, and to see all of the stamp sets in full along with the beautiful samples created by our design team especially for you. If you're the partying type, we have a party chat thread going strong where you can hang out with the design team from now until 9 p.m. Central Time. And the best news is, all of the products are already available in our store at GinaKDesigns.com, so you don't have to wait to place your order. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's release party presentation. I'm so excited to show you the new stamp sets that we released tonight. We have 5 brand new clear stamp sets and 3 adorable new Darling Divas. Let's start off with the 3 new Divas by illustrator Debbie Corbari. First up is Aloha Diva. With her cute little grass skirt and beautiful tropical foliage, this little diva is a fun focal point to any card project. Marathon Diva is perfect for all of the divas in your life who love to exercise and are working toward their next 26.2-mile run. Impress Diva is an adorable, hard-working girl who's perfect for thank you cards, cards of encouragement, and more. All of the divas are made in deeply etched, pre-cut rubber, mounted on cling cushion and ready to use with your acrylic blocks right out of the package. You'll love the newest stamp set by Teresa Momber called Up and Away. Not only is this set fabulous for birthday celebrations and encouragement cards, but you can mix and match this set with Teresa's other scene-building sets for tons more options. Simple Numbers is the newest set by Tammy Mayberry, and it will be a must-have basic for your stamp collection. Personalize just about any project with these simple numbers and accents. Celebrating a 50th birthday? How about a 50th anniversary? Maybe you want to make your own calendar pages. With different number styles and all of the months included, this set will be used over and over again to add that personal touch to any greeting card, scrapbook page, or Project Life journaling card. Melanie Menchinger has done it again. This month, she continues her Stately Flowers line, and many of the most requested states are included. Not only are these gorgeous flowers perfect for any type of card or scrapbook page, but with 4 new states represented, your collection will be getting more and more complete. Beth Saleka's newest set will have you seeing spots and dots in her new Lots of Dots alphabet. Not only are all the letters included, but you also get a complete set of numbers and a variety of frames to create fun, whimsical custom greeting card projects and scrapbook pages. This is another must-have basic for your collection. And finally, Becky Ohlers brings us an amazing stamp set full of textures, banners, and more. The beautiful banner stamp sets includes a variety of stamps and banners for any occasion, along with this beautiful rich wood grain background stamp. This set is perfect for masculine cards as well as cards for anyone on your card-making list. All of these beautiful stamp sets are now available in our online store at GinaKDesigns.com in the What's New category. Tonight I want to show you a fun card project that features 2 of the new stamp sets just released, including the Stately Flowers 7 stamp set by Melanie Menchinger and the Simple Number stamp set by Tammy Mayberry. You're going to notice that all of the stamp sets in this new release work so well together, and it's fun to mix and match sets to expand your designing options. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to make this card project. First, you're going to need the two stamp sets, and here I have the Simple Number stamp set and the Stately Flowers 7 stamp set. Then you're also going to need some cardstock, and I'm using some of the Gina K Designs Innocent Pink along with the black onyx. You're going to need a little bit of ribbon, and I'm using the black onyx gingham ribbon in the 3/8 of an inch width. You're going to need a couple dies or punches. You can use paper punches for this. I'm using one of the Spellbinders standard circles and one of the Spellbinders lacy circles. You're also going to need a couple of markers, and that's going to depend on what color cardstock you choose. For the colors that I've chosen, I'm going to use the R02, which is flesh, and I'm also going to use G82, which is spring dim green. And then I'm going to add a little bit of accent sparkle using the Sakura Clear Star Stardust pen. I'm going to use a black ink pad, and I just happened to grab my Memento black ink pad, but certainly you can use your Gina K Designs black onyx ink for this as well. I'm going to use some 1/4 inch pop dots to raise my greeting off of the card a little bit. And then I have a couple extra pieces of cardstock, some adhesive, and some scissors. So let's begin with this piece of Innocent Pink cardstock and a little bit of black ink. Now I've already taken one of the flower stamps from the Stately Flowers 7 stamp set and adhered it to this block. What I'm going to do next is ink this up using black ink. And if you're a Copic lover and you like using the Memento Tuxedo black ink, it's a good one to use for Copics, although lots of our customers have had great success using our black ink as well. Now I'm going to start by positioning one of these flowers this way, and then I'm going to ink it up again, and I'm going to position it this way. And then I'm going to bring it in from the bottom a little bit, and just by turning it, it almost appears to be two different stamps. And this third one will get positioned like this. And as you can see, I'm stamping on the Score-Pal craft mat, and what's nice about that is you can just take a damp paper towel and you can wipe up any ink that got on it and then just dry it off, and you are ready for your next step. I really love this mat. So now I'm going to stamp one more image. This is going to come from the Simple Number set, and the one that I'm going to pick here is the one that says The Big. I'm going to pop that onto this block like that, and I'm going to stamp that right about here. So let me ink that up with some of that black ink, and excuse my head getting in the way here, but I want to make sure that I get it straight. So there is The Big, and then I'm going to grab this other piece of Innocent Pink cardstock. And I'm going to grab the circle die, the circle stamp from the Simple Numbers stamp set. And I just want to make sure that this goes on the block without me distorting it. And the best way to do that is to just turn it upside down and let it rest, and then grab it onto the block. This way you won't distort the round shape and turn it into a little bit of an oval by accident. So I'm going to stamp this. Let me get a little more ink on that. I'm going to stamp that right about here. And then I'm going to grab this smaller block again, and I like using a block with lines on it, especially when I'm lining up numbers or letters. So I'm going to grab the 5 and the 0 out of this stamp set, and I'm going to use the line that goes down the center of this block to position the 5 up against. So you can see I have it up against the side of the line and also on this bottom line here. So I know it's going to be straight. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, making sure that that's straight. Now, remember that the base ups of these clear stamps can be a little bit not perfect, so you still want to look at it and make sure it looks straight to you. So you can see it there. That looks pretty good. I think I might raise the 0 up just a hair more. And that looks perfect to me. So I'll ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp that 50 right into the center of this circle. So this is going to be a card for someone who is celebrating a 50th birthday, the big 50. And now I'm going to put that aside for a second. We're going to cut that out with some dies in a minute. But first I want to show you a quick and easy way to color this particular image. Rather than doing a lot of detail coloring, when you have a lot of stuff going on, you may just want to do a little bit of highlight coloring. So what I'm going to do is, using the R02, which is flesh, I'm just going to color around the perimeter of the whole flower, all of the petals. And this doesn't take very long. You can see this is a little bit of a brighter version of this color cardstock. So it pops out a little bit. You can see I'm just going around there. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow all of those natural lines that Melanie has drawn into these flowers. So I'm just accenting those lines that are already there for you, so you don't have to think about where the lines should be, but it's just adding a little bit of depth into that flower without having to do a lot of shading. Like that. I'm going to do the same thing with the other ones. So it'll just take a couple minutes here. But I'll tell you that if you are looking for something to do and you don't have a lot of mojo to make a card, just stamp out a bunch of these and grab a few Copic markers and sit on the couch, put your favorite show on, and just color away. It doesn't have to be fancy shading. You don't need to be a Copic coloring expert. Don't be afraid of these markers. They are very fun to use in all kinds of ways, even if you're not a pro yet. I'm certainly not a pro, and I'm sure all the pros out there will tell you that. But I like to color, and I think this is fun. And to me, stamping isn't so much about being a pro as it is having fun and being creative and making beautiful cards for people that you care about. So if you want to break out those Copics, don't be afraid of them. Just get them out and try this little coloring technique. And of course, the fact that you've already stamped this on colored cardstock does some of the work for you, because you're not having to color in the entire flower. You're just kind of highlighting certain areas, but the flower still is a color because of that innocent pink cardstock that it's stamped on. So there, I'm finished with that particular color. Now my next step is to take that Spring Dim Green marker, which is the G82, and I'm going to do kind of the same thing on these leaves. Just going around the edges, nothing fancy, getting the stems. Don't worry too much about staying in the lines. If it goes a little bit outside the line, that's okay. And then just kind of hitting a few of the little built-in lines that Melanie already gave us. I love the way our illustrators draw these beautiful floral images with all of that beautiful detail already in the stamp. These are the kind of images that make us all look like artists, because I can't draw these realistic flowers, but I certainly can grab a Copic marker and color them and make a small work of art, thanks to the talents of my illustration team. And a little bit more here, and we're good to go. So now you can see that's beautifully shaded, but it's not very complicated. Now, using this Stardust pen, I'm going to color in the center with a little bit of clear glitter. And then I'm going to hit the little dots in the center here with a little bit of sparkle too. So you could just follow along with the little dots that are already there for you. And just tap on them. And that little bit of sparkle will come out of the pen and fill up those little circles. And again, you don't have to be super precise. When the recipient gets this card and they're in the natural light at home, it will sparkle and glitter and look just beautiful. Be something to see. Okay, so now we're going to let that glitter dry for just a couple of minutes, and I'm going to grab my Cuttlebug here, and we're going to cut out that focal, well, the greeting image that's actually part of the focal image of the card. I'm going to start with an A and a B plate, and I'm going to lay that down on top, that piece of cardstock. Now, I'm using a die that's very tight. It is very, very close to the edge. So I really want to make sure that I line it up as good as I can get it, and I can see the dots all the way around the inside there, so that should be pretty close. And I'm going to pop that C plate on top and run it through. So there I have my 5-0. And then I'm going to cut out this piece of black with this lacy circle to give it a nice lacy border around the 5-0 image that we stamped. You can see these just need to be popped out. They pop out pretty easily. And if you can't get them out, you can always use a paper piercing tool, a craft pick, something like that, just to pop them out. So there is that little lacy border. And now it's time to assemble this card. So I'm going to apply this panel of Innocent Pink onto my black onyx layer using a little bit of adhesive. And that sparkle should be all dry by now. It only takes a few minutes for it to dry. So there I have that layered on top. And now I'm going to add a little bit of that ribbon, and that ribbon's just going to go down the side there. So let me grab my scissors and cut a little piece off. And we can do this by lining it up and then flipping it over, and we'll just tape the back here. Make sure that's taped down. A lot of times I make sure it's straight before I adhere the other side. So there we go. And now I'm going to add a little piece of ribbon up here at the top. And I want my tie, when I tie it, to be at this angle. So I'm going to hold it like this, the ribbon like this, and then pull it through like that. Now don't worry too much about it pulling, because you can always reposition that, but we'll just cut this here like that. Actually, it's going in the other direction. So I think I'm going to take that off and show that to you one more time, because I actually positioned it backwards. Whichever way you want your tails to go, you should start tying it the opposite way. So I tied it this way and then the tails went this way. So I need to tie it this way. I should follow my own rules. There we go. And now I can trim that edge. And of course you can be much more frugal with your ribbon, but for demonstration purposes I'm using a little bit extra here. All right. And we'll get that little fray off. And there is my little piece of ribbon. Now, if you ever have ribbon that's twisting weird like that, you can always take a tiny little bit of tape on the back, and then you could tape it exactly down where you want it, and that will secure it a little bit better, like that. I might do this side too. Makes it a little bit easier to get it in the envelope that way too. There we go. Okay, so now this whole panel is going to go onto my Innocent Pink card base. So I'm going to adhere that on there now. And I always like to add a little bit of extra tape over the ribbon to make sure that stays down once the panel is adhered to the card base. So there is the panel and the card base. And now we're going to add that 5-0. So I'm going to adhere these two pieces together. Sometimes I like to just lay that down and make sure that the lacy parts aren't going to get in the way. You know, I don't want it to kind of cover up the G there, so I'm going to lay it down and then tape it into place. And that helps me know exactly where I want those lacy scallops to be. And now my last step is to adhere this using some of these pop dots. I'll use 3 of them. That should do it. This one still has a little piece of stuff over it. There we go. And we'll position this exactly where we want it. The big 5-0. And there is my finished card project. Try this card using the hot air balloons from the Up and Away stamp set, and stamp your greeting using the Lots of Dots alphabet set. Or add a diva focal image on top of a wood grain background from the beautiful banner stamp set for even more creative options. Although our One Free with 3 program was a fun promotion for our customers, there were also times when it may have been a bit confusing. And it also required you to spend as much as $75 to qualify for something free. We're excited to announce that we've streamlined our freebie plan, and now you can start earning free stamps with purchases as low as $25. Let me show you the 3 new incentive stamps and how you can earn them all. Our first stamp is this beautiful congratulations stamp with this cute little border. What I love about this stamp is I can totally see a big focal image panel and this just stamped right underneath on the one side or right in the middle. And with all of that fancy scroll work and that little border on top, it doesn't even need to be cut out with a die or anything. It looks beautiful stamped right onto your card. This stamp is yours free with any $25 purchase. And that means that even if you're just stocking up on a few supplies like some cardstock or ink pads, if there's $25 in your cart before any shipping or tax or anything like that, this stamp will automatically ship to you. Now, if your purchase goes up to $50, you'll get this stamp plus you'll get this thank you border. Now, don't be deterred by the size of that. Let me show you the real size of the stamp. Look at how big that is. This is a huge stamp, and it's a little bit hard to see in the package here, but what this is it's a little line of kind of scalloped, pretty little cutout scallops going across the bottom with a line, and it says thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to show you how nice and big this actually looks when you stamp it on your card. So I'm going to line that up right on that acrylic block there, and I'm going to ink it up with a little bit of black ink. There we go. And I'm going to stamp that for you. Let me just stamp it right down here on the bottom of this piece of cardstock. You can see this is a quarter sheet of cardstock here, so that gives you an idea of how nice and bold that is. So you're going to get the congratulations stamp along with the thank you border, and that's with a $50 purchase. Now, if your purchase goes up to that $75, which is what you originally had to spend just to get the small stamp set, you'll also get the wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And again, this is a nice big bold stamp, and I want to show you how pretty this stamps. So when you get these, they're all pre-cut and ready to go. You just peel off this little protective backing, and you can put it right onto your acrylic block. And I just want to show you how beautiful this particular stamp is. These are huge. So depending on what kind of card you're making, you know I always like to use a smaller panel with a little layer on the outside and then put it all on a card base. Well, these will fit right across that smaller panel. So let's stamp this one out here. I'll show you how nice and big that is. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Such an elegant stamp. And that can be cut out. Of course, we'll have some silhouette files for you. So if you have the silhouette, you could just cut that out and stamp right on it. Or you can just hand cut it. It's not very difficult to do. It's pretty easy going around there. Or, like I said before, these stamps are borders and just so finished off just the way they are that you can stamp them right on the card itself and it will give a complete look. So you will get all 3 of these stamps with a $75 purchase. Each month we will have 3 new incentive stamps available. So whether you're purchasing stamp sets during a new release, stocking up on supplies, or getting the newest Stamp TV kit, there will be even more opportunities to earn brand new free stamps. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's release party presentation video. The design team will be hanging around until 9 o'clock Central Time in the release party chat thread at the link below the screen. And the contests, challenge, and full stamp set reveal links will stay live until Monday when we choose the winners of our contest questions and challenge. Those winners will each receive a grab bag of over a dozen deeply etched pre-cut Gina K Designs rubber stamps. And now that you've learned more about these new products, you can visit our store at www.ginakdesigns.com. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you back here soon on Stamp TV. Hi everyone, I'm Gina from Gina K Designs and Stamp TV, here with an invitation for you to join us tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time at stamptv.com. We will be broadcasting our release party presentation featuring the new stamp sets being released. The contest questions, challenge, full stamp set reveals, and products will be available at 7 p.m. Central Time when the party begins. And for those of you who like to chat, hang out with other stampers, meet the design team, and see beautiful projects featuring the new stamp sets, our party chat thread will be going strong from 7 to 9 p.m. The party starts on the home page of Stamp TV at stamptv.com. We hope to see you there.